Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be ranking all of the unique ranged weapons in Minecraft dungeons from worst to best. I already made a video ranking all of the unique melee weapons in Minecraft dungeons, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure to go check it out. And I would like to preface this list by saying if anything is missing or you think that an item should be higher up on the list, please share your knowledge down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say and learn more about the game. So there are a total of 25 unique ranged weapons in Minecraft dungeons, and I'm going to be listing them all from worst to best. At number 25, we have the Hunter's Promise. When using this bow, your pets will attack the exact same mobs that you are targeting, and you have a chance to regain arrows. Now, I personally don't think that this whole pet targeting feature is very good because I think pets are pretty smart as they are. Next up, we have the Guardian Bow. This has a charge up feature, so it focuses a lot on charging up and then dealing burst damage, but this is a single target bow, so I don't think this is very good, and overall, I do not really like charge up features with some of these bows. Minecraft Dungeons is a dungeon crawler. We are making our way through dungeons at a very fast speed, and having to stop to charge up your bow every time you shoot it just seems like such a bad thing to do. It just slows you down and ends up making your dungeon run really slow in the end run. Then we have the Bone Bow. When using it, arrows will grow in size as you charge it up. I don't think this is very useful because, again, Minecraft Dungeons is a fast-paced game where you're constantly moving, and I can't really see much use for longer range arrows. I feel like the normal arrows that we have a pretty decent range already. Next up, we have the Elite Power Bow. This has a charge up feature that will increase its damage, and overall it just has increased damage as well. Then we have the Master's Bow, which also has just extra damage off the bat, and pets attack the mob that you are targeting, which again, just like with the Hunter's Bow, is not very useful. Next up is a pretty cool bow, the Saber Bow. This heals in a small radius around where your arrow impacts, and it has a charge up that increases the healing and damage done the more you charge. This could be a really great tool for kiting, healing up, and then getting back in action with your melee weapon, but in this case, you have to be in the area of impact, and unless you're in a group, this isn't going to be beneficial for a solo player. Next up is the Doom Crossbow. So this weapon has the charge up where it will deal more damage as it charges up, and then it also has additional knockback. The Red Snake is next. Again, it has a charge up, but this one's a bit cooler because arrows have a chance to explode, which deals double damage to mobs, but the chance of getting this effect is about 1 in 4 to 1 in 5, so it's not too good and not too bad. Then we've got the Feral Soul Crossbow. Basically, this is a soul meter item, so the higher your soul meter is, the more chance to critical strike you have. And don't forget that critical strikes deal ×3 the normal damage that the weapon would deal. The Purple Storm Bow. This has strong range damage and an increased fire rate. Then we've got the Azure Seeker, which also has an increased fire rate and it has faster arrows. So this is okay. This still doesn't have multi-shot, but if you get the enchantment, this could be turned into a pretty good bow because it has faster arrows and a faster fire rate. Then we've got the Slayer's Crossbow. This just has strong shots and it has a chance to ricochet, meaning that when you hit a mob with an arrow, that arrow has a chance to redirect and hit another mob that is nearby. Now we're getting to some of the cooler bows for sure. The next ranged weapon is the Green Menace Bow. This creates poison clouds on hit and arrows ricochet. The poison clouds don't really do much damage, and ricochet is not that good, not nearly as good as multi-shot. So this bow looks good, but it's definitely not as good as it could have been if it had full-on multi-shot. Then we have more of a single target ranged weapon, which is the Slicer. This has faster projectiles, and it also has a chance to fire piercing bolts, which will essentially pierce the opponent's armor, and this is really good for single targets for that reason. This could be useful against bosses because bosses usually have a high armor amount, and if you can pierce some of that, this can be very effective. Then we have the Void Collar, which pulls in enemies in the area of impact, and it has +2 soul gathering. I think this can be pretty good if maybe you follow this up with some melee attacks. You can pull some enemies in and then roll into them and start hitting away, maybe stun them if you have a stun artifact, but I think that the pull in unique trait is just a pretty cool thing. Now this probably has the coolest unique feature that I've seen from any of these unique weapons. It steals speed, and it has +2 soul gathering, but the unique ability of just stealing speed is amazing, and this could be pretty good if your main weapon is a melee weapon. This will essentially just act as a speed buff, a permanent speed buff, and at the same time it will be slowing your enemies. Next up we have the twin bow. This shoots 2 enemies at once, and this isn't bad, but it's not great because there are better multi-shot abilities. Next we have the pink scoundrel. Its unique feature is that it has a chance to enrage mobs when you hit them. I personally did not find this perk to be very useful in general, because when the mob turns, they usually still actually start going for you, and even if they do attack the mobs around them, the other mobs still continue to chase you. Also, this bow hits multiple enemies, so it has a bit of a multi-shot, which is a first on this list, and now we are getting into the much better bows. So coming in next, we have the mechanical short bow. This has a very fast fire rate, so if you get some good enchantments on this, it can be insane. The butterfly crossbow is next, which has a high fire rate, which is slower than the mechanical short bow, and it shoots 2 enemies at once, which is great. We are looking for multi-shot in these ranged weapons because that gives us the splash damage that we need. Oof, this is a strong one. The lightning harp crossbow. This shoots 3 arrows, and it has a chance to ricochet with each of those arrows, so it has a pretty good area of effect damage. Then we've got the firebolt thrower, which probably has the coolest animations for a bow in the game. It has a chance for projectiles to have a chain reaction, and shots explode on impact in a decent range. So this has a lot of splash damage effects. If you're looking for a ranged weapon that looks cool, this is definitely it. In combat, it looks amazing. You're exploding things everywhere. There's a lot of kind of domino effects going on, and it looks great. Then coming in at second, right behind first, we have the auto crossbow. This has a very high rate of fire. I'm not exaggerating when I say very high rate of fire, and that increases even more as you shoot. And if you have the arrows to fuel this thing, you can do a lot of damage very fast. Number one, I do want to say thank you to everybody that stayed and watched throughout the whole episode. I really do appreciate that. Number 1 is the harp crossbow. With this crossbow, you shoot 5 projectiles at once. The strong thing about this is that this means that all of your artifacts that are ranged trigger 5 times more than usual. That's crazy. You've seen the firework arrows? You're gonna see 5 of those. You've seen the fire arrows? You're gonna see 5 times of those. You see the soul arrows? You're gonna see 5 times more of those. If you can get all of those artifacts, you will have a crazy strong build on your hands and a lot of splash damage. That's the main thing. That's what I like. You have a lot of splash damage with this weapon, and in my opinion, that is the main thing that I look for with these ranged weapons. That's about it. Again, if you haven't seen the first part to this mini-series where I rank all of the melee unique weapons in Minecraft Dungeons from worst to best, you should go check that out. And if you found some value in this video and enjoyed it, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, comment, subscribe. Also, I'll leave a link to Minecraft Dungeons in the description below if you haven't got the game yet and you want to try it out. It's pretty fun. Also, I'm going to be posting videos of me playing the game, so make sure to stay tuned for those. Anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.